A kid from the neighborhood sprinted into my yard and begged, "Please don't make me go back inside. They're still fighting." I'm a 32-year-old woman living alone in a quiet suburban neighborhood. I work from home as a graphic designer, and I mostly keep to myself. A few days ago, something very odd happened with my neighbors that I can't make sense of. Late one afternoon, I was pulling some weeds in my front yard when a neighborhood kid, an 8-year-old boy I'd only seen in passing, came running into my yard. He was out of breath and looked upset. He basically ran up to me and begged, "Please, can I stay here for a while? I don't want to go home." I was startled. I asked him what was wrong, and at first he just blurted, "My parents are fighting. I don't want to go back there." I didn't hear any shouting from down the street, but he was clearly distressed. I'm just his neighbor, not family, so this was a weird situation. I led him to my porch and got him a glass of lemonade to calm down. My mind was racing. If his parents were having a physical fight, I might need to call the police or Child Protective Services. I gently asked if anyone was hurt, but he shook his head. He just said it was really loud and he got scared. He clung to the lemonade like he was nervous and kept glancing back toward the street. I decided to keep him with me until I learned more. Maybe 15 minutes later, I heard a woman's panicked voice calling a name, let's say Caleb, from the direction of his house. The boy tensed up like he didn't want to respond. I stood up and saw a woman jogging up the road looking frantic. I recognized her as Caleb's mom. I'd seen her and her family around, but we'd never really talked before. I waved her over to let her know he was okay. She practically sprinted to my yard. She was out of breath and her face was full of worry. The mom hugged her son tightly and then started apologizing to me. She said something like, "I'm so sorry he bothered you. We were just watching a loud action movie and I think he got a little carried away by it." I was confused. What? She explained that Caleb had apparently made up the whole parents fighting story. According to her, nobody was actually fighting. The yelling he heard was just the TV. She said he'd been trying to get out of spending the evening with the family because he was grounded from video games. So when he heard the loud movie scenes, he took the opportunity to pretend there was a fight and ran off. Caleb wasn't saying much at this point. He just stared at his shoes while his mom explained and apologized to me. I told her I was just concerned and wanted to make sure he was safe. I admitted I'd been this close to calling CPS or the cops, and she gave a strained laugh and said, "Believe me, I understand. I would have done the same in your shoes." She assured me again it was a misunderstanding. The kid finally mumbled an apology for lying. He did look a bit embarrassed, though I wasn't sure if he was genuinely sorry or just upset at being caught. I said it was okay, and that I was glad everyone was all right. The mom was friendly on the surface, thanking me for giving him a safe place for a few minutes, but as they were about to leave, I noticed something a little off. She put her hand on his shoulder and leaned down to whisper something in his ear. I couldn't catch what she said, but I saw Caleb's face sort of tighten up. Then the mom glanced back at me, not quite smiling anymore, with this look that I can only describe as suspicious. It was as if I had done something wrong by letting him stay. The whole vibe changed for a second. Before I could figure it out, she stood up straight, flashed me a quick, polite smile, and led Caleb back home. I was left standing on my porch, feeling confused. One minute, I'm a concerned neighbor helping a scared kid. The next minute, I'm getting side-eye from his mom like I caused something. I shrugged it off at the time. Maybe she was just stressed and embarrassed that her son involved a stranger in their family issue. I went about my evening and tried not to dwell on it. At night, though, things got really weird.